Archer Aviation had a lot of action this past week, in particular price action on several news events. Before we get into the analysis on the charts, let's look at the events that took place this week. For that, we're going to go to the Motley Fool. Here's why Archer Aviation stock took off, and then quickly return to Earth on Friday. So we had Archer Aviation enter a collaboration deal with Boeing, which will provide $215 million in new funding. We saw the company's Midnight aircraft receive its Special Airworthiness Certificate from the FAA, indicating Midnight has met all safety requirements and is allowed to begin flight testing. We also saw that Archer is on track to meet the obligation to previously announced for the $142 million deal with the Department of Defense to deliver the Midnight by the end of the year or early next year, which the company believes would make Midnight the first ever eVTOL aircraft delivered to a customer. Let's get into this quick video that explains things a bit detailed on the events.
Investment from Boeing, the company also reporting quarterly earnings. Our Phil LeBeau is bringing us a first on CNBC interview with the CEO, Adam Goldstein. Phil, take it away.
Thank you, Melissa. Adam, let's start first off. We're not going to talk about the Q2 results, which was an adjusted EBITDA loss of $76 million. Not that your operations aren't important, but I think the guidance in terms of what you guys are announcing with regard to the Midnight beginning flight testing and this round of fundraising that includes Boeing, does this $215 million that you've just announced that you've raised, does that get you through to the manufacturing on a mass scale for the Midnight?
Yeah, thanks, Phil. I appreciate the questions. If we even just take a step back here, over the last 90 days, you've seen the FAA administrator, Billy Nolan, step down and come join Archer as our chief safety officer. You then saw the DoD come out and award Archer with the largest contract they've ever given to an eVTOL company. And then just recently, today, we announced that Boeing is going to be our latest strategic partner and making an investment. So it really has been a great period for us. Also, in addition, with the capital that we've taken in, it really does put us in a position not only just to get to market, but also to start really accelerating a lot of our commercial operations.
So now you want to accelerate getting to market, which is supposed to be in the 25-26 time range. You mentioned Boeing. They are now an investor in Archer. You guys were suing Boeing with regard to Wisk. That suit has been dropped, and they are also going to be working with you in terms of developing the autonomous technology that you hope to ultimately put into the Midnight. Is that correct?
Yeah, we are really excited to be partnered with the greatest aviation company in the world. The partnership is going to start with collaboration around autonomy. Boeing and Wisk have extensive, probably the most experience in flight autonomy in the world, and the goal is to be able to leverage that technology in future variants of our vehicle. But it is also exciting that Boeing is coming in as an investor in Archer as well.
Let's talk about the Midnight winning the Special Airworthiness Certification from the FAA. This essentially means that you can begin flight testing right now. Does it give you greater confidence in your flight plan to commercial service?
Yeah, absolutely, Phil. So the FAA issued Archer a certificate to begin flying our Midnight aircraft. This is a major milestone for Archer, but also for the industry. Now you have two companies, both Archer and Joby, as the only two companies to have this for our pre-production vehicles. So we will begin flying pretty much daily this fall, which puts us on our path to get this certification to allow us to start taking passengers and start commercialization in 2025.
And that's going to have pilots, at least initially, correct? Realistically, are we going to see pilots in the controlling the Midnight, at least for the foreseeable first several years of operation?
Yeah, that's right. Actually, starting at the beginning of next year, we will start our flight test for credit, which is our piloted flight test, which we'll be doing on a daily basis with the FAA and with the DoD. And that's how we're going to start to take the vehicles to market. So that we'll start piloted. And over time, as the technology advances and the regulatory framework advances, we do anticipate the industry eventually moving to a fully autonomous form of transportation.
Melissa, go ahead. I think you have a question.
Yeah, I do, Adam. You mentioned your closest direct competitor, and that would be Joby. But I think a lot of viewers at home might take a look at your business and see what you're doing with batteries and think Elon Musk. Is that a conversation that you've had? And do you think that he could potentially emerge as a competitor to you because he's got, the supply chain in theory that could either help or compete with you?
Well, the autos have actually played a pretty significant role in the industry to date. So one of Archer's biggest partners is Stellantis. And so Stellantis has been really involved since the beginning. And you've also seen Toyota as a really big partner of Joby's. So I do think Elon actually already has helped our industry significantly. And that's by helping to improve where lithium-ion batteries are today. So that's really been the big unlock that's helped us today. So to the extent that Elon Musk or Tesla wanted to get involved, I think it could only help just accelerate the industry even further.
Sounds like great news, right? So why did the stock gap up to go down? Well, for one, Archer shares have gone up roughly 200% year to date. Terms of the deal with Boeing provide Wisk with warrants to purchase 13 million shares of Archer stock at 1 cent per share. 1/3 of that total vesting immediately and the remainder in 6 months. So if Archer's value drops, the company could owe Boeing cash instead. Finally, Archer is indeed making progress. It has not jumped into a significant lead. Rival Joby received this FAA clearance for flight testing back in June and has its own $131 million deal with the Air Force. Joby also intends to deliver an aircraft early next year. All right, with that said, let's go to the charts. And again, you can see from the bottoming out phase how price skyrocketed to 300%. Now I'm going to adjust this resistance support band on the monthly chart. As you can see, support resistance is now support again, as price did dip into that band and did bounce back higher. We're going to go to the weekly chart where you can see the band a bit more. You have a couple of support levels, resistance levels. Resistance becomes support again. Now price did not reach my target at 750. We came within 40 cents of that level. There appears to be a level, no, not really a wick over wick, although there was a reaction, so there could be something here on a smaller time frame, maybe at $8. But you see these huge weekly wicks indicating selling pressure, massive selling pressure. Although they were green, price went up again to go down. So this is bearish. All right, let's go down to the daily chart now. So although we had all this price action this week, which ended up being bearish, can't deny that Archer is in a nice uptrend. The price action is respecting the momentum moving averages, which is the 13 and the 26-day moving average. You have the 50-day, which crossed over the 200-day back in June, which created a golden cross. So again, although price action this week is probably stagnant, trajectory is still upward. And I anticipate that price is only going to continue to go up as Archer and others get closer to actually having commercial flights. So the pullback, it really is an opportunity to go long as you have support at this support resistance band at the 525 level. Thanks for watching. Subscribe, please. Like the video.